Okay, hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about conditional sentences, right? And if you remember the lessons before, we were talking about the tenses, the past tenses and the present tenses and the future in the past, right? So in order to talk about this topic, you need to remember what is the future in the past, right? Remember that word. Okay, so we have our future word, which is will, right? And we also have future in the past. When do we use future in the past? We use future in the past when you need to use future, but you cannot do it due to the past tense in the sentence, right? So we cannot use it. That's why we use the future in the past, which is would. So will transfer to the word would when we cannot use the future tense in the sentence, right? So let's talk about conditional sentences first, okay? So who can tell me what is condition? Condition. Condition. So we have this in the sentence we may have two parts, right? And one part will be condition and under which circumstances our condition will come true, right? So that's why we need our condition. Now we have a couple of types of these sentences. So first of all, when you talk about conditional sentences, you need to think about whether your sentence is actually real or not, like the actions that are happening in the sentence. Are they real or you're just talking about it, you're imagining, or maybe it has already happened, right, and now you are just talking about your regret. Okay, so these are the most important things that you are going to talk about. Right, so for example, let's talk about the first type of conditional sentences, right? So I'll have my condition. Let's talk about the condition. If the weather is nice. Okay, so this is our condition. If the weather is nice. Now pay attention to the word if. And this is where your condition starts. The parts of the sentence may change. For example, the condition may be in the end of the sentence or in the beginning. What you need to think about is where you see your word if. Right? So if you see the word if, means that this is the part where you're going to talk about your condition, right? And then the next part of the sentence will be what's going to happen under this condition, right? If the weather is nice, I will go for a walk. I will go for a walk. Okay, so this is the type 1 of the conditional sentence. Now, what is the type 1? First of all, you need to remember that this is the real sentence. So the actions that are happening in this sentence, they're real. Yeah, this is the future. It hasn't happened yet, but it may. That's the point. It may happen. It's quite real. So we're not talking about the things that will never happen, right? If this may happen, if the weather is nice, I will go for a walk. Right, so you see our condition. Now let's talk about the tenses. You can see that in the second part of the sentence we have will. So this will be our formula, right? So you may use will plus verb in the first form, right? Now remember before I told you about the future in the past, right? Here in this sentence we do not need the future in the past. Why is that? Because as you can see in this sentence we don't have any past tenses, right? We have the present one, which is right here. Now, who can tell me what is this tense? This is a present tense, right? What exactly is present tense? Well, this one is present simple, right? Present simple. It doesn't have to be present simple. It may be some other type of present tenses, right? But the most important thing that you need to remember about is this is present, okay? So the condition will be in the present tense. Now, the second part of the sentence will be in the future, as you can see. Again, you may change will into something else. Let's see some modal verbs, right? We talked about that will is not actually the future, right? Will is more like a modal verb, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Can, may, so you may change your word will into some other modal verbs, right? And it's still going to be working that way. Okay, so the condition is real, it is going to happen, and as we can see, the mood of this sentence is in the future. So we're talking about the actions that may happen or will happen in the future. You don't know that yet. Now let's talk about the second type of the conditional sentence. Now, this is where we're going to stop talking about real actions. Now, the second type of the conditional sentence is not real, okay? So we're just talking, but it's not going to happen. It will never happen, okay? So this is just some things that maybe you are dreaming about, right? So let's see. If the animals if the animals, let's see, what do we want from animals? If animals could talk, if animals could talk, you know that the animals cannot talk, right? So that's the point. That's why I'm saying that this sentence is not real, right? It will never happen, but we're still talking about it. If the animals could talk, I would be happy, which is true. I would love to talk to some animals. If the animals could talk, I would be happy. Now you can see here we're using the future in the past. Now why is that? You can see that right here we're using the past tense, right? This now remember what I told you about in the beginning of the lesson, that we use the future in the past when we have the past tense in the sentence, right? So right here there is a past tense, and that's why we cannot use the word will. We can only use the word would, right? And again, look at the mood of this sentence. This is not real, right? We're just imagining, we're just talking. Maybe something that we wish to happen, right? But it's never going to happen. Just keep it in mind that is not real, just compare it with the first half. The first half is quite real. The weather may be nice, why not? But the animals would never talk. That's the point. Or let me give you a little bit funnier example, right? If I were, let's say, Elon Musk, if I were Elon Musk, which I'm not, right? If I were Elon Musk, I would, let's say, I would buy the Twitter, which he did. But I'm not Elon Musk, right? So I cannot buy Twitter. Maybe someday, but no, I'm not the Elon Musk, right? If I were Elon Musk, I would buy the Twitter. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not Elon Musk, right? So that's never gonna happen. That's not real. And that's what we're talking about. We're just imagining things. This is what is the second type about. If the first type is about thinking about the future or maybe making some forecasts, right? The second type is absolutely unreal. It's just we talking, you know, girl to girl, the talk. Maybe we want something, or maybe it's just not something that we want, but we're just talking about it, right? And now I already know that you have questions. Why are we using were here? Because you know that if we have the words like I, he, she, it, we're supposed to use was, right? But mind you, this is not any past tense sentence. This is conditional sentence. So this is a peculiarity that any conditional sentence has. So here we're always going to use were. It doesn't matter which kind of pronoun you are using, it's still going to be were, okay? Even if it's I or she or he or it or maybe they, we, doesn't matter, if it's still going to be were. If I were Elon Musk, I would buy, why is it be? I would buy the Twitter, right? I would buy the Twitter. Now see? So now we can think about what kind of tense we're using here. If the first type had the present tense and the future in the second part, now the second type of the conditional has past simple or maybe past continuous, right? But quite simple tenses here. Past simple or past continuous in this part, and in the second part of the sentence we use the word would and the verb in the first form. Right? See? Yeah, we're using the future in the past right here. But mind you, this is not a past sentence. Yes, we're using the past tenses here. That's true. But if I'm talking about if I were Elon Musk, is that past? No, it's not past. Nothing happened. Nothing happened yet, right? And as we know, the past tenses, they're only about the past time. So like, for example, say, I went to the shop yesterday. This is a past tense because that happened yesterday. Now, look at this sentence. Did anything happen yesterday or maybe last week or maybe a year ago? No, nothing happened. So this is not a past tense. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.